Hello at 12:56 the 16th of October 2022. Operator 911. Suddenly I got a strange call. The front end of the Kia phone has no talk. It's just the sound, yeah, it keeps ringing. It's like a little scream. Operator 911 ask, what are you reporting? What do you need to report? The sound is too small. Should total. The broadcaster didn't get any information, but still make judgments based on the feeling of the voice. It seems that the opponent is a woman, and the sound coming out of her throat showed. Her mouth is probably blocked and unable to speak. 911 operator, go ahead. I will support you right now. You wait for me. Do you know your address or not? At that time, there is some noise in the phone sound. It's like there's a struggle, emergency and abnormal knocking. As in special cases, the call center then used digital analysis to locate the Kia's signal source and send out the enemy's information. After getting the Z feedback, the telephone operator contacted me again. The nearest police came to investigate. A while later, the voice on the other end of the phone is getting weaker until it is completely silent. Although the phone is still connected, but there's no sound left. The story takes place in the city of Lucy. Lucy is located in suburban Thurston, in the western U.S. state of Washington. Lucy covers the coastal plains, plus convenient transportation of the federal highways. So people's lives are pretty harmonious, healthy and happy. There's a couple in Los Angeles. Her husband, Jackie, is 53 years old. The wife is 42 years old. They both have two children. The oldest daughter is 20 years old. The youngest son is 11 years old. Their family has lived here for 4 years. They live in a normal and peaceful neighborhood. But life is not always calm. And how lucky people will be if life doesn't happen. In the summer of 2022, because of family conflicts, the farmer's wife filed for divorce in court. The couple have separated and are preparing for divorce. Jackie Ellen has moved out. Currently, there is only one wife, and their two children live in the house. My father still visits from time to time, washing clothes and taking care of the kids. At about 12:30 the 16th of October 2022, the farmer and his two children returned from church. They saw the husband's car parked in the yard. That's not surprising, because every week on that day, husband, I often come to the house to do laundry and play with the kids. Compared to seeing each other every day like before, they feel this change is much better, and this time they can talk about divorce. The kids have just returned home. I can't even talk to you. My mother told me to go to the supermarket. Next is a conversation between the two spouses. They both refuse to give in to the division property, and they finally began to quarrel. Jackie Ellen said out of control that, even when I die, I'll never give you a pension either. The wife was angry to hear that. But you don't care much, because they've lived together too long. So the arguments, it's the same. It also happens frequently over the years. The woman asks her husband to leave the house. Immediately, she got tired and went upstairs to get dressed. But she didn't notice that Jacqueline's husband. I followed her and went to the bedroom. Father takes advantage when his wife is not paying attention. He attacked you from behind. And then you put a bandage over your mouth, blindfolded, tied her hands. After doing that to my wife, Jackie Ellen has temporarily left. How to be a man could suddenly go so crazy. What he wants, he's drunk or so. Questions like this go around in the wife's head. You fall into a state of fear. The only thing you know now, your husband is going crazy. In a panic, she remembered the Apple Watch she was wearing. She hurriedly sent an emergency alert message for a friend and older daughter, and called 911 to call the police. You couldn't talk at the time. We can only hope for a chance of survival. And the phone call at the top of the video. It's what you do. At that time, her eyes and mouth were all taped with a tight bandage. His hands and feet were tied up in the room. You are alone. The storm struggled and tried. Do your best to send a message for help to the outside world. I'm very lucky that the police car arrived. And fortunately, the husband has just returned. 6 Daikin supervised. Close-up of neighbor across the road recorded shows. Jackie Ellen drove into Gaudia and pulled down soup from the bedroom downstairs. That's when he discovered the watch on his wrist. She's still in contact with 911. He doesn't feel well and think it needs to be resolved quickly. So, he took off his watch, pick up a hammer and smash a few. They even hit the wrists of their teeth. A few more shots. Then, he gave her a drug of unknown origin and pull her in the trunk and keep driving out of the house. Surveillance video shows the police car coming to investigate happened to pass by Jackie's speeding truck. The police are in a hurry to do an important job. He didn't stop the car for questioning. A speeding car in a residential area. Cha Kyung's car drive out of the area and towards the mountains. At the same time, the police car arrived at the wife's house. They don't know what happened here. It could be robbery, kidnapping or murder. They came to the front door and called out the police. Lacey here. If you're inside, let us know. The call of the police immediately made the neighbor's dogs bark, echoing everywhere. After entering, the police officer saw an Apple Watch, broken, lying on the ground, and is still in contact with operator 911. There is no one in the house. The front door and garage are open. There was no trace of the maid inside. The two boys who went to the supermarket came back. They saw a group of police officers arrive at the house. Their father and mother are missing. Anne and Walsum huncherizes. After a brief exchange, the eldest daughter said, "Half an hour ago she told us to go out to the supermarket. I have something to talk to you about." But not long after, she suddenly got an urgent message from the mother just now. On the way home, she also saw her father's car driving by. During the subsequent investigation, the police found out that their families have had many reports of domestic violence. The culprit is her husband. Out of the cave, there is also a protected order and a ban on contact, but it was later revoked by the court. The police went to probe the neighbors and get some surveillance videos, and then they realized the car was speeding. It's controlled by suspect Cha Kyung. They immediately launched a citywide manhunt and issue a related arrest warrant. On the long road, a car that was running away from the starting point. 10 miles seems to be far enough. No I will ever set foot in that remote forest. In a desolate place, a man and a woman alone. They used to love each other and get married. They are not a single couple. But now the love for each other is gone. There's only hatred left. Jackie looked around, and he finally saw a place he liked. It looks like a tomb. All the way. The driver was stunned, feeling that the car had stopped. Not having time to react, you were dragged out of the car by Jackie. Then she felt a sharp knife stab her into my chest. Feeling of intense pain. It quickly made her mind up. A little more awake. Then she realized that maybe I've been taken to a strange suburb. She vaguely saw a shovel-wielding man digging. As the sun goes down, the sky gets darker. The hole in front of you is getting bigger. The wife was handcuffed and gagged. I can only hear the shovel tossing up and down. Eventually a hole was formed. Jackie B dragged the weeds down the hole and start filling the ground. Maybe it's because he gave you drugs, plus the stab in the chest. So, he thought. At that time, the wife was no longer able to resist to escape. They were buried alive like that. She'll surely suffocate to death. In fact, the animal was still quite awake. You know that I can't get out of this situation. Because your hands and feet are tied up. You can feel every shovel falling on my face and body. You can only tilt your head slightly, so that the soil doesn't get into the nostrils. Fortunately, your partner doesn't pay attention to your small movements. For a moment the shovel stopped. The animals could feel it clearly, the pressure of the soil on his body. She felt the check-in step on the ground several times. And then suddenly there's something heavier on top of it. And that's a tree that your husband has specially prepared for you. After doing all of the above, he went back to the car. While the cattle are buried in the ground, they rely on thin air to survive. After hearing the car start, you start trying to screw up. The first, you're trying to get your hands off the tape, and then pull out the adhesive tape around your eyes, my mouth and my ankles. The process takes an hour. The pain in your chest is getting worse. But you don't care about that. She looks forward to moving out of the field. Just stuck my head up. Then she saw her husband's car. It's not far away. There's a layer of fog on the car window. Turn on the light. Bring only light to the dark area on. It felt so scary at the time. After a while, she knew her wound could not be sustained. Can delay more. She pushed the trunk of Raw with all her might and climbed out of the hole. Climbing out, they run in the opposite direction of the car. About 20 to 30 minutes later, she saw a house. It was 52 in the morning. You don't need to think. Knock on the door and enter the house. Tell the host all that you have been through. You're covered in dirty sand, but their families are still very supportive. Call the police to help you. After the police arrived, the cattle are still hiding behind the family barn. After confirming that the person is a police officer, then you run out and ask for help. Tell me my husband wants to kill me. He's still somewhere in this forest. The police, after seeing the stains on her, bruises and dressings left over, then they trusted you. Then they helped her clean the wound and take her to the hospital. Let's take a look at the map together. This is the house of the animals. This is where you're buried. This is the house you asked for help. Until about 7:38 a.m. 17/10. That is, in the morning the next day, a man walking on the road discovered out in a car measuring near suspicious blue. A search warrant was issued by the police. He's parked near Stepman Road and called the police. Thurston and Lucy County Police react very quickly. 44 minutes later, suspect Jackie was arrested and detained. Health condition: his body and spirit. It has been verified and shown to be completely normal. He'll face 3 different charges: murder plot, kidnapping, and first-degree assault. In the 18th of October 2022, Jack the Ripper was sent to Thurston County Jail to await trial. At the end of that day, the police found a hole about 6 feet long. It's about 0.76 meters wide and about 48 meters deep, near Stapman Road, where the shovel is buried. There is still adhesive tape inside, blood stains, hair, and the wreckage of the watch. Prosecutors later charged Jackie Elm with for attempted first-degree murder, domestic violence, kidnapping, assault, and first-degree coercion. The prosecutor also asked the court, "You can't let him out on bail." They also hired their own lawyer. She said, "Please don't bail him out. I'm very worried about the safety of my life. I just want to emphasize that I'm really scared of him. If he gets out of here, he'll come back and kill me." Jackie Elm's defense lawyer said, "The guarantee amount can be fixed at $150,000 United States dollars, enough to use as a preventive measure. But Jackie is also a veteran. He served in the U.S. Intelligence Service for 35 years. Never had a criminal record. Maybe in the process of working. He's been under tremendous psychological pressure. This is also an objective cause that led to his crime. But this is what I'm most worried about. You know that my husband worked for the intelligence agency. After 35 years, if he has bad intentions, he'll get out of jail. He'll do things he can't even imagine." The court finally agreed not to let him bail. So far, the case is still in court. Although the animal narrowly escaped death, and you're back to your normal life. Go to the supermarket and prepare Halloween gifts for your children. But the evidence after trauma, it's not just wounds on the skin. Maybe it's a wound you'll never forget. Near-death experience on. Look at the whole case. Assertive and cruel tricks of Jackie B. It's really scary. Wisdom. Call the police to save yourself in danger. It makes things even more thrilling when something bad happens to us. Try to stay calm and use everything you have to solve the problem. Put your trust in life, because outside, there's a lot of good things waiting for us. Today's episode ends here, and I'll see you in the next 6. Hello.